Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about a penny stock that's profitable, trades at less than 8 times earnings, also is trading at less than 8 times free cash flow, has deals with some of the biggest companies in the world, and those companies are also basically dependent on them because of their technology. And I do believe that this stock could potentially 2 to 3x in a very short period of time. I do believe that next quarter that's coming up for them, Q2, is going to be the best quarter in their life, and we might have an announcement regarding a buyback or something that could send the stock soaring. So like the stock is that we're going to talk about is D-Box. We've talked about it multiple times in the past, but there's a couple of updates that I want you guys to want to share with you guys, which I think are very important, and that thesis is kind of playing out. So if you didn't watch my Formula 1 video, we talked about how they have exclusive rights with F1 and F1 Arcade, and we were predicting in that Formula 1 video that Apple is going to come in, bid for the rights, and the amount is going to come at $150 million. We actually were spot on with that prediction because now they have come in and they have they've bid $150 million for the F1 rights. Now this is huge because F1 itself has its own streaming platform, and that was a point of contention with the other other companies that are bidding for these rights, like ESPN and even like the likes of Netflix and stuff. They wanted to get these rights, but they were saying that F1 should not have its own subscription model because it's obviously cannibalizing, right, and it's competing with them. So the companies were not agreeing with that. But when the movie came out, I had said that Apple makes most amount of sense because they've seen this was a hit. This was a hit movie. They saw how much traction it got from it. I think the offer was already ready, but it was going to be based on what kind of success the movie gets. And I mean, for Apple, $150 million is not too much. And now they have synergies with MLS. They're also trying to get into the streaming platform, right? So this was huge, and this is huge for D-Box as well because there'll be more money with F1. Like the brand itself is going to become more valuable, and anything that's around that brand is going to be more valuable as well because if the races are streaming on Apple, they're going to reach a wider audience, and when that happens, there'll be more interest around F1 in general, and that could lead to people going to the F1 Arcade plus F1 Sim, which we're already seeing this huge growth here. So this business is continue to grow, and I think the people are not really focused on this business, and this is one of the reasons why I love this stock so much. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things that have come out, which I think are not being talked about enough. So the biggest thing that came out this week was Cineplex's earnings, and we've talked about in the past, not Cineplex's earnings, but the box office collection. And we've talked about in the past how Cineplex is such a huge customer of D-Box, and their box office collections could be a really good indicator of what is to come for D-Box as well, right? So in 2024, I'm gonna look through this. So basically, the Q4 for 2024, their revenue was at 147 million. The Q2 revenue is going to be around 158. So Q2 was actually higher than Q4. The reason for that is mentioned in this press release, and this is something that is. I'm not sure how the price action is going to be. I'm recording this in the morning before market open today, so I don't know how the price action is going to be today. But if people are watching this, I think we might see the stock bid up in the morning because they shared something really important. So for the first time since 2019, Cineplex delivered a quarter in which box office revenues exceeded 50 million each month. So this has not happened in 6 years. As I told you in the D-Box videos that I've done in the past, I see a lot of interest around the Cineplexes. Even if you looked at the subreddits, they're continuing to grow and people are going to the movies. More importantly, what I think is very important here, and I feel like that's something that D-Box will benefit massively from, a steady stream from blockbuster titles combined with the strong consumer demand for our premium formats drove the sustained attendance and revenue growth throughout the second quarter. So in the initial video that we made, I'll link it right now. I apologize the music. I think I was not. I didn't do a great job with the music, so maybe I'll link the second video because the first one is not that great for watching. But they basically said the premium formats drove sustained attendance. So what I had said in the initial video is the D-Box is a premium format, right? D-Box, like the seats that told you, the tickets are almost 3 times or 2 times the normal seat. So the ARPU goes up. Average revenue per user goes up. So what's happening is people are going in. Maybe lesser number of people have gone in, but the thing is the premium formats are twice the revenue, so each D-Box customer is worth twice a normal customer, right? So people are going in for the premium formats. Now the other thing that they talked about here was June was a strong month led by live action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon, which has already surpassed the domestic box office total of the original animated film in just a few weeks. F1 the movie also made a powerful impact, setting a record for the biggest opening by an Apple original movie and delivering the largest global opening weekend of Brad Pitt's career. The film resonated particularly well with the audiences, with 76% of its opening box generated. So this is huge. this is massive. Like, this is what I was telling you about in the second video that I did on D-Box, is that this movie is made for D-Box. And I went to the buddy of mine as well to go watch the movie, and we watched it in D-Box as well. So this movie was tailor-made. Like, F1, sim racing, D-Box, like, this is like perfect synergies. So I think the revenue, as I told you, as it is in the beginning of this video, is going to come in potentially higher, especially this right to use revenue is going to be way higher than what it was in Q4. So if we compare the box office collections of Q4, which was the strongest, so Q2 I guess was the strongest quarter, let's compare that with what Cinemark had said. So for Cinemark in December, their revenue, as we talked about, came in at 147. So this time around, this is higher. So that's one point of reference that we think that if the revenue is higher, this is definitely going to be above 3188. But given what we know about what guys at Cinemark have said, the revenue was driven by premium. So let's say that this comes in at 65% higher than what they're so this is, like, let's say it's the same, but then there's a premium of say 15% or something based on the right of use. So this could potentially come in at 3,500, and as we know, it's all high margin business. The revenue there was higher, but this revenue is going to be high margin. So the profits could come in excess of $2 million. And I think there's an arcade, F1 arcade, that's being launched in this quarter as well, and we might see some system sales growth from that too. The other thing that I really like, I'm really looking forward to, is the fact that they talked about how this premium format is driving growth. Now this incentivizes them to install more seats, because now they know, okay, well, like, we see good uptake for Superman, we're seeing good uptake for the F1 the movie, we are seeing good uptake potentially for Avatar, and these don't take too long to install. So I could see more screens being added in the D-Box and 4DX platforms, and people are going in there for experience. And I've like 3 different people have mentioned 4XD to me, and when 4XD comes on, like, it's not like so it's a different format where it's like a little bit more engaged into the movie. The pricing is obviously a little higher, but I think it's 4DX or 4XD. I think they are not available in all the places in Cinemark and Cineplexes. So if people want to go to a 4DX experience and they don't have it in their city, they're going to go into D-Box. So that's another thing that could potentially really help them out, and it's easier to install. It's like lesser capex. The other thing that I talked about in the initial video was that these theaters are very constrained in terms of capex, but here now they see all this revenue coming in. This is high margin revenue. Like, they'll be more incentivized to invest more money into the D-Box seats. So I could see that playing out as well, like old theaters being updated with D-Box seats and stuff like that. So that also helps them with system sales. So I won't be surprised in the next 3 months if we hear from Cineplex or Cinemark and they say, hey, we install more seats, right? So that's something else to keep an eye on, because this is not only just royalty income for this quarter. This also sets them up for more revenue in the future, where the system sales might go up, because they might think, hey, well, we need to install more of these, because they're doing so well. So that's the other thing that I would be keeping an eye on. And the other thing that I also want to mention here from WatchMojo. So Q1 revenue, for total cumulative revenue on box office for USA was $1.4 million. For Q2, it came out at $2.6 million. So it's almost higher, by like almost 75, I think more than 75%. So that's the other thing I think we should keep an eye on. Like, this could have huge implications for Cinemark and like the US. So it's almost 90% higher, actually. So it's almost 90% higher. Q2 revenue cumulative was higher by almost 90%. So if we apply that to the to D-Box's Q1 numbers for system sales, you're probably getting at like 4 million. And if that comes in at 4 million, like 3.6, 3.7 million, which is very possible, they will generate about $2.3 million in net profit this quarter. And like that puts the TTM net income at around like $8 million. And this company is only trading at $50 million for total market cap, right? So you're looking at a 6-7x times earnings. A company that's growing earnings substantially, has 2 customers, 3-4 customers, which rely on them, and there's no like real substitute for these technologies. So just making this video and going through it, actually, if we don't see a move this morning, I'm definitely going to add more to this position. I'm getting like, I feel like I'm underexposed. The more I buy, I still feel like I'm underexposed. So this is becoming one of my largest positions. It's right now sitting at the 4th largest position. It might become my first because I have a really high amount of conviction in this stock. I wouldn't be surprised, as I said in the past as well, that Cinemark, Cineplex, or the likes of F1 come in and just buy the company out, because it's trading so cheap. I wouldn't be surprised if they buy it for like $1 a share, like a buck a share or something, because these acquisitions for small caps generally happen at a higher price. And all this cash coming in, I am quite certain, don't quote me on this, but I'm quite certain that a buyback is coming as well, because they're going to have so much cash. This business requires minimum maintenance capex. All that cash is just on the balance sheet. They already have about $6 million in cash, I think. Yeah, so $7.8 million with minimal debt, and you're going to have like $3 or $4 million more coming in Q1 for cash, right? So you're probably going to be sitting at like $12 million in cash. So yeah, that also leads to like huge opportunities and upside, in my opinion, for the stock. So I'm looking forward to this, seeing how the Q2 earnings are going to come out. I guess Q1 for them. Q1 earnings are going to come out, and I do believe it's going to be really, really good. And I do also believe that there's a high probability that they will add more screens, they'll get more orders and stuff, because I mean this commentary from Cinemark was very positive, and the fact that they've been saying, you know, that it was driven by these premium experiences was huge. So the film resonated particularly well with the audiences, with 76% of its opening weekend box office generated through premium formats. I mean, this is massive. I don't think we actually can even like figure out how much this revenue could be, because if you think about it, like if 76% came from the premium formats, let's say 4XT was like 50% of that, and 30% of that was D-Box. So let's say, like, even if we say F1 did like $10 million in revenue from like total, I guess it's quite understated, but let's say it's $10 million, 77% of that, so $7.5 million came from premium formats. You take another 40% of that, like $3 million, $3 or $4 million. That's pure profit for D-Box. That's gonna get added to the bottom line. So I'm looking forward to the earnings here. The more I speak about this in the video itself, I feel like my conviction has actually gone up even more. So yeah, maybe I have a huge blind spot here, but I don't know the scenario where this stock doesn't end up materially higher where it is right now. And these kind of opportunities come few and far between, where you have the upside and the downside is not there. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.